As this hearing demonstrates, Americans all across the country are united in a deep love for our national parks. For almost 100 years, and we look forward to celebrating that 100 years next year, generation after generation of Americans has made the commitment that our most significant historical, cultural, and natural sites should be preserved in perpetuity for future generations. Places like the Grand Canyon, Yellowstone, Ellis Island, and in my own district, Minuteman National Historical Park, which commemorates the shot heard round the world and the very beginnings of our country. These parks protect, celebrate, and give access to the many places that have shaped and defined who we are as a people and a country, and it is important to remember that these places would not have been protected absent support from the federal government. In fact, the American model of a system of national parks is an idea that has been exported around the world. Just last month, the New York Times featured a story about yet another country's efforts, China, to establish a national park system. Like the United States, China recognizes that some of its nation's most important and ecologically rich sites are threatened by urbanization and industrialization and merit a level of protection at the national level, above and beyond what local communities can provide. Yet here at home, despite its significant and multifaceted contributions, the National Park Service budget has been shrinking, compromising its ability to ensure the long-term protection of our treasured national heritage. In just the past 10 years, the Park Service has had its budget decreased by 22%, and over the last 30 years by 50%, leading to a growing backlog of deferred maintenance projects and a range of other management challenges. This trend is completely unacceptable if we want our children and grandchildren to have the same opportunities to visit and explore some of our nation's most iconic public lands as we do today. I look forward to hearing from today's witnesses on innovative ideas like partnering with private funding and utilizing volunteers, both of which are emphasized in the President's fiscal year 2016 budget. However, this must be thoughtfully done in a way that supplements but does not supplant federal funding through the annual appropriations process. Otherwise, we run the risk of opening up Pandora's box, looking to private funds for base operations, shirking our abiding duty to protect that which belongs to all Americans, this country's most magnificent landscapes and historic sites. I also want to make clear my support for the Centennial Challenge. This is a worthy model based in an approach that recognizes the powerful role of matching funds, in this case federal dollars, in encouraging private donations, all dedicated to supporting signature centennial projects identified by the National Park Service. It is also critical that we find a responsible way to pay for a long-term highway funding bill. Half of the maintenance backlog, approximately $6 billion, is comprised of transportation projects that require funding through the federal highways, not the Park Service. Without funding from a highway bill and restoring adequate funding for the NPS construction account, the number of projects and money needed for deferred maintenance will only continue to grow. Conservation is a value with deep American roots, and we should be working together to advance legislation that aims to further protect and elevate our public lands and cultural resources, including ways to better incorporate new sources of revenue. However, I want to reiterate, there is no replacement for Congress's responsibility to provide adequate resources to our public land management agencies. I look forward to hearing about ways we can better leverage federal funding to support our parks, and today's hearing is a welcome first step. Thank you to our witnesses for appearing before us today. I look forward to your testimony. Thank you, and I yield back.
Great. Thank you very much.